Hey guys, welcome back to Admiral Reviews. So today I want to talk about the new chapter, My Hero Academia, chapter 128. So this chapter, it kind of starts off where the last chapter left off. Izuku's using full cow and he's, zooming from wall to wall, trying to steal this stamp so he can stamp the contract to work for Sir Night-Eye, from Sir Night-Eye. So Sir Night-Eye starts throwing these insults out to Izuku and he's really rude. Like, you realize this in this chapter. He's really rude. He's like, Izuku's trying his hardest, zooming, trying to think of a plan, and Sir Night-Eye's just like, yeah, this is meaningless. You're too slow. And Izuku's trying his hard. He's trying to think of a plan because Sir Night-Eye can see into the future. He can see what you're gonna do an hour later. So he says, no matter what you do, I'll be able to find. I'll figure out a plan. And Izuku tries. He tries to do different tactics, and Sir Night-Eye's like, nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. So Izuku's starting to run out of plans. So after a couple more attempts, Sir Night-Eye decides, you know what? It's about time I throw another insult at Izuku. So he's like, Sir Night-Eye goes and says, the more I look at you, the more I'm convinced that, you shouldn't have got this power from All Might. And Izuku's like, you know what, fuck this. He says, All Might told me that I'm supposed to be the greatest hero. And this triggers the shit out of Izuku, and you can see it in this panel. Is pissed the fuck off. Starts throwing books, and he's like, alright, in these books, he may be able to see the future, but if I distract him with all these books, maybe it doesn't matter if he can see the future. And you think he's about to go grab Sir Night-Eye, and then Sir Night-Eye's like, well, that's irrelevant, because I can still see what was coming. So after the attempt with the books failed, Izuku seems to have lost his balance, and he bumps into the wall, and then when he gets up, Sir Night-Eye's like, well, your 3 minutes is up, you failed. And, he's like, Sir Night-Eye says to Izuku, like, you seem to have lost focus, what's up? And, he said, you were supposed to be this whole great thing, you're supposed to take this stamp, so what happened? And Izuku mentions to him that, he didn't want to step, at the last moment, he didn't want to step on that limited edition All Might poster that Sir Night has in the room. And then Sir Night realizes that all the memorabilia of All Might that he has in this place, none of it's been stepped on, even though Izuku's managed to strategically step on everything else but the All Might memorabilia. And Sir Night-Eye's like, wow, oh. He doesn't show his emotion, but deep in his mind he's like, oh shit. So this is the moment where Mirio and Bubble Girl come back into the scene. They bump into the door. So, oh, the time is up. How did it go? And side note, I don't know whether this was purposely drawn, but the few panels that we see here, they're not too drawn too well. I don't know whether this was part of what they wanted to do, or maybe this was just a time issue. But these 3 panels or so, they look like they were drawn by a second grader, but never mind that. So Mirio comes in and Bubble Girl come in, they're like, how did it go? And Sir Night-Eye off the back says, well, he passed. Izuku's all worried because like, but I failed the test. And then Sir Night-Eye's like, you know what? From the beginning, I pretty much had the idea that you were going to be employed here. This is just a test to see what your skills were at the point. And Izuku's like, all right. So Izuku goes and stamps his paper. But before he stamps it, Sir Night-Eye gets close up to him before he gives him the stamp. And he's like, you know what? This world doesn't need a dim light. The world needs a dazzling, sparkling light that's going to light up the way and, give everybody hope. It needs something that, people, just the name of a person brings, fear to villains and hope to civilians. They don't need no nonchalant mediocre hero. They need the best. And he said, you still have to prove yourself. So, this is why I'm giving you this internship. We have to work. So off the bat, the stamp, and he's like, all right, let's get to work. So the chapter then skips to the next day. And this is where, they're going out and, they're doing field work. And we get to see Mirio Tagata's superhero suit, and I'm a little bit on the iffy side about it. It doesn't really look what I would have thought it would. I thought he would have had a cooler suit. But anyway, they're trying to get surveillance about, the 8 precepts of death. That group that we saw fight against the League of Villains a few chapters back with the leader Overhaul. So they're trying to get proof of their criminal activities. So that's why they're out in the field trying to find proof. So they split off into 2 groups, Sir Night-Eye and Bubble Girl in one group, and then Mirio Tagata and then Izuku Midoriya in the next group. So they're just going around trying to find proof, and then we get these panels of a girl running. We don't know if it's a girl, but it is a girl, but the picture of the girl running, and she bumps into Izuku, and apparently Muriel Tagada doesn't notice that she bumps into Izuku, but Muriel starts walking off, and Izuku's like, "Oh, are you okay? How can I help you? Do you need help?" And so later on we find out that this girl is somehow associated, or she's being chased by Overhaul, the guy with the death mask. Well, they all have death masks, but the leader. So, and that's where the chapter ends. So, you know, Izuku knows what the leader looks like, and Overhaul is there. So I don't know, is this gonna lead to a big fight, or is this just gonna be dialogue? But this shit is crazy. I can't wait for the next chapter. Like, this shit is crazy. I want to see where, you know, Overhaul and Izuku's Power Rangers are close to each other. So next chapter. But that's all I got to say. So other than that, have a nice ass day.
Hey guys, did you like the video? Please, if you did so, please hit that like button. If you have any questions you would like to ask, please put them down in the comment section. I'll be willing to answer any question that you have. And if you like what I'm doing with the channel and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified on my future videos. And other than that, all I gotta say is have a nice ass day.